What's up everybody, Derek here with the Bass Factor, and today I'm going to be making a GoPro pole mount for my kayak so I can get all those different camera angles, and I'm going to be making it for around $15. Everyone that's really gotten into kayak fishing has really tried to improve their camera angles and their filming. And a lot of people like to get the camera mounts that go off the side and they can actually rotate so you can get those different camera angles off to the side, or you get a camera that's over the shoulder perspective that kind of shows the fishing area that's in front of you. So the viewer, not just from a hat cam or a chest cam, can see that view whenever you're actually reeling in the fish. You can see what they're presenting the bait to, or if they get a fish or a hookup or a topwater bite or anything like that, you can actually show that bite a lot better than if it's a chest mount or a hat cam. Let me show you here first what materials you're going to need. This is a 3/4 PVC. This is a schedule 40. You can go schedule 80, but it's going to weigh more and it's going to be a little bit thicker and it'll be a little more rigid, which means it'll be a little bit stouter. It won't bend as much. I've got a flagpole bracket here that's $10. You can get this at Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get both of them at the same place. But the thing is, this slides right into this flagpole bracket. This is a 3/4, so 3/4 in on the flagpole bracket. And what's going to be awesome about this, here, let me open it and just pull it out, is it's adjustable. So, let me adjust it enough to where it adjusts out. Come on, get those gears out. There it is. So, let's say you want to put this thing on the back of the kayak. It's adjustable to the angle that you want. So, once this is in, you insert your pole. It's got a little screw so you can drill into your PVC and you can set this thing, and it won't go anywhere. It'll stay right there, and it's a tight fit in this thing as well. So once you put this on the back, you can get double-sided tape on the back side so you can stick it in there, or you can actually drill into your kayak. I have aluminum on the back of my kayak, so I'm going to be able to do self-tapping screws straight into the back, and I can just put the pole in, pull the pole out when I'm done. So it'll be perfect for me. $10. This is about $3 to $5 at Home Depot or Lowe's. And here's the actual mount. You can get your GoPro mount, this itself, and you can get self-tapping screws and use that double-sided tape that's on the back, and you can countersink, which means you use a larger drill bit and you drill into this and then put some screws and drill directly into the PVC. And you want to put some kind of glue or anything on those screws so they set in there and they kind of glue into the PVC. But what I do is I take 1/8" aluminum angle, and I basically cut it to about 5 to 6 inches, and I just took that GoPro mount and put it right on there. I've got 4 screws here, self-tapping screws, and I do the exact same thing as if you were just using this mount, but I screw directly into here, so I've got 2 sides that are screwed into this PVC, so it's not going anywhere. So once I get this thing ready and the angle that I'm going to have, I'm just going to screw it directly in, and this thing's ready to go. But there's a little added in thing if you want to go that extra step. And I'm going to test this out and see if it works. But I've got some insulation, expanding foam. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a couple holes down through this pole mount. And I'm going to squirt this stuff inside of it. Let's say it comes out of this flagpole mount. If it falls into the water, then I have saved everything, because this should float. It should float with this expanding foam in it. And I'm going to test that theory after I do all of this. I'm going to basically throw it in the water and see if it floats. But let's get to building this thing. Alright, what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be bending this PVC. A lot of people will take this and they'll cut it, and then they'll put in a 45-degree or a 90-degree elbow on certain things. You don't have to do that. You can keep it all intact and keep it just as strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a heat gun that we have here, and we're actually going to put it on this PVC and heat it up enough in one area and then bend it out to where I can get that angle that I want. What we want to do is have the GoPro at about that angle if it were to be straight up and down. So that's right there. So we're going to need to put a bend. Let's go about double the length. So If that's right there, we'll put double the length here, and just in case, we'll leave a little bit on the end in case we did take a cap and put it on here for some reason. Let's just heat up that area. Put it on high. Look how hot that thing's getting. You can also use a big torch. A torch would work perfectly also, but this thing puts out a lot of heat. See, it's already starting to burn the outside a little bit. Not a lot, it's just heating up the plastic is all it's doing. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get our angle. Say right in there. Now is what we got to worry about. How long do we want this thing? So I'm thinking I'm not going to even measure it. I didn't measure this part up here. I'm not going to worry about measuring it. So we're going to put this in right around in here. And if we want to shorten it, we can always cut it, and it's not a big deal. So we're going to go right in here. So let's cut this thing. And as you can see, once I put this flagpole in here, this bracket, it's still pretty tight, but I mean, that is super tight. But it's going down into here probably about 2 to 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it here so I can do a little drill hole for this keeper that goes in here. And these are self-tapping screws. You can use any kind of screw, but I like the self-tappers. They're just a lot easier. And we've got a great camera mount here, and it's elevated above the pole, so it's not going to show the pole as much. And that's sitting on the ground, so you know that pole's a good foot away, and the angle of the pole's down here, so the angle of the camera will be going this direction more. I think that's going to be a perfect way of doing it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to inject this insulation foam into this pipe. I think I'll only need actually two drill holes in this thing. Got 2 holes right here, so I'm just going to inject this stuff in here and let it set, put it outside and let it set, and then we'll come back and we'll probably trim it off, and then later on today we'll probably give it a shot and throw this thing in the water and see if it floats. Alright, let's start out right there. I'm going to do it straight up and down. That way that kind of falls down in there. There. Put it up and down. Okay, it's actually pushing it out the other end. I've got this thing finished up. I've got the foam. I just broke the foam off, as you can see right there on the ends. And I've got it ready and rigged up, and I'm just going to toss it out here in this water and see if this thing will float. That's the true test, and if it does, then I accomplished something. And another thing I thought of is it might help out. I know I'm not going to use this for the audio, but that insulation on the inside might not transfer as much of the kayak banging of like the paddle hitting the kayak or anything to the camera itself. So I might get a little bit better audio having that insulation, that expanding foam in there. But let's toss this thing out here and see what it does. I'm thinking it's gonna float, but let's see. Let's push this out here and see if it floats. Yeah, it's definitely floating. So I think that's gonna work. Well, it floats. I'm all excited now. So if it accidentally falls off the kayak, then I don't have to worry about it going to the bottom of the lake. I can just go retrieve it. But I'm excited to get this thing out there and start using it in some of the videos that I do and get a different camera angle. And I think it's gonna work out just perfect. So let me know if what you guys have done to any of the customized camera mounts or poles or anything that you've done in your kayak. Let me know in the comment section below. And subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.